Moduls Rīga un Vēlve piedāvā.
Well, it wasn't so easy way or easy path to become a writer. Of course, I have been writing I learned to write when I was 5 years old, and I just always making little stories and loved storytelling and etc. But I'm from Lapland, and basically from the north, it's not very easy to become an artist or writer. And in my family, they really didn't approve so much my artistic tryings or struggles. When I said in high school, that I would like to be a writer, my teacher said that okay, you could be secretary. So that was kind of the
typewriter.
Typewriter. So that was the thing that there was kind of for women the suitable thing if you wanted to write. I tried kind of many times, and I even sent my writings or little poems to this kind of artist that is paid for government, kind of. She's supposed to help young artists, but he just get a little bit burnt out and went to Spain and steal all my writings. So long story short, I was studying animation, and my teacher Brit Pan, which is from Estonia, quite famous animation director, he suggested that I would send some writings to him, and I showed some writings, and then I got to my publishing house to get interested. So it was kind of like a passion, but it took me quite a long time to have this kind of patience and courage, and to be stubborn enough to kind of try it. And then I was in university studying literature and etc. But after I finished my first, I just knew that I just don't want to do anything else, because I don't think I ever get that kind of satisfaction for anything else to do that writing.
Is it easy to write for you?
Is it easy to write? Well, I think not always. Sometimes these words, they just obey me, but sometimes it's I can't make any a sensible sentence in a few days, and that's very frustrating. But I think it's so enjoyable in the end when you get something to done. So I don't really care about even if it's not easy all the time. And of course, because I want to be better and better, so I try to get in the higher levels and not getting myself to an easy way. Well, it's a powerful love story in one hand, but I always also wanted to describe the situation in the end of the Second World War, and that was kind of a very interesting situation in all over the world, but even in Finland, because in that time, in summer 44, we were occupied by Germans, or we are were allies or occupied. It's kind of how you want to say it. And I wanted to describe this change of mental situation or cultural situation, or understand how we were in the end of June of 44, we were allies with Germans, but then it was quite clear that Germany will lose the war, and we understood that Soviet Union is going to probably occupy whole of Finland. So we had to change the code, put upside down our beliefs or how we reacted. So I wanted to describe that kind of situation for with minor history point of views, like there's one Finnish woman and one German soldier, and in that kind of situation that they are becoming from allies to enemies. What is happening and how this kind of mechanism works. And this was one of my goals, but of course I wanted to make it both like literature, like ambitious, and describe human behavior, like how your moral works. Does it work like in this kind of critical situation? How do you choose your behavior if you want to survive? Well, I'm not so interested about that kind of history. We usually write for this point of view of winners, and not this like a very black and white, right and wrong. But I wanted to like tell a story and about the war. Like if you think about children and female and like prisoners who usually don't get their voices. Like, this past 100 years has been in Europe kind of very lots of struggles and lots of things like turning around and like forward, and there's communists and there's Nazis and there's every kind of racism, and there's raising of well, very right-wing like politics, and there's European Union and etc. etc. And why not to talk about these things and try to understand that there's not only one way to look at it.
Do you think love can be an excuse for what you've done?
Well, in this book they're using it as excuse, but well, there's a kind of question in this book. Is it right to, or do you have a are you responsible for that? What in the end what they're doing? Like this main character, in the beginning she thinks that she's doing only God's work, and she's think that she's outsider of the war, and she has nothing to do of these horrible things that she sees, and she's not doing abortion. She's midwife, but avoids those things. But in the end, she goes deeper and deeper, this kind of slippery way, and ends to do like these things that she would not even imagine to be done. Well, I don't think it's. I don't think that it's any excuse to do whatever you want, even if you are in love. But there's one line which comes again and again in a book, when the midwife sees that Johan Angelpuls, which is that German soldier, and she prays from God that if I'm getting that man, I'm demanding anything else. And it's happened actually for me one time when I fell in love, and it happened only one time in my life, and I kind of hope it won't happen again in that way. But I just felt to feel that strongly that I have to have that person, I have to have that man, and I'm kind of willing to do everything. I'm not caring anything else. I'm not caring any other people's feelings, and that's of course selfish. But I think love is kind of that kind of love is selfish feeling. Well, someone can say that too, like other kind of better kind of love is it's more like not so selfish. What's the opposite of selfish? Yeah.
Is sex violent always?
No, it's not always, but it can be. And well, it's related for violence because if you have sex with someone, you are kind of like giving up your like automacy of your or intimate automacy of your body, and in the violence you are not giving it, someone is taking it. In every relationship we use some kind of power over each other, and sometimes it's not equal for even in sex, like how it's working and how it's happening. But in this case, in a midwife and between a midwife and this Johannes, I think it's almost violent because they are so desperate about what is happening, and they are so desperate with this love, so they are kind of hurting each other because of that, because they are afraid that it will end, and they are afraid that the other one will like betray or leave, and they are ending alone. So I think that's why people are often so mean in relationships. So it's kind of, it can be fear of that someone who is very close that will hurt you very badly.